As usual, new pots, that means a lot of coffee, and we're gonna go through all the changes together. We're gonna talk about the items, we're gonna talk about the general updates, and we're gonna talk about the hero changes. I've read them only once, so I'm gonna share my first thoughts, and I played only one game, of course, was Crystal Maiden, so I really wanna talk about that. So let's go one by one together. So, neutral creeps bound decreased by 2, it's okay, whatever. And super creeps and mega creeps attack damage increased by 5. That means actually that whoever take super creeps or mega creeps will have more lane presence, and the lanes are going to push even more. Courier health is replaced with attacks to kill. Courier dies after 1 melee hero attacks, 2 ranged, and 6 creep tower attacks. This makes a lot of sense. If you were to ask me, I would probably take 2 melee attacks and 3 range attacks, to be honest. Maybe that's like a little bit too much, but definitely this 6 creep tower aggro was a must. Many times you had something coming over, and all of a sudden 1 tower shot and it was gone. I'm not really gonna go into there like some watchers, blah blah blah. Tormentor can no longer have less than 0 armor. So we saw a lot of Slaughters, for example, and TAs solo taking Tormentor at minute 20, or even Weaver with a bug. That's not going to be the case anymore. Added new Roshan ability. Simply when you try to take Roshan for the second time or the third time, and you were the one that actually killed him before, Roshan is going to scream into the map, and it's going to be like, hey, they're trying to kill me. Hello, come and help me. Okay, so that's really nice, but that's kind of a nerf to heroes like Ursh and Huskar, even like TAs or OD that are naturally Roshan takers. Okay, and Roshan right now drops Roshan's banner, which in reality makes creeps way stronger, and they just push the lanes more. I think that's really nice if you have like mega creeps or super creeps. So in the second death of Roshan, you get this extra item. Drops cheese when killed on the Radiant side, and Roshan banner when killed on the Dire side in the nighttime. Okay. And on the third death, Roshan gets to drop Refresher or Aghanim's. Aghanim's Blessing on the Dire side. Okay, they changed that. It used to be Refresher Shard on the... Okay, that's really interesting. Now we have some interesting stuff about the mid lane. Rune, like double damage right now, it's called Amplified Damage Rune, doesn't matter. But it gives like a little bit less damage, but gives spell amplification. So if you're like Zeus or Leshrac that are natural, right clickers, not right clickers, spellcasters, they get to benefit a lot from this rune. So that's really interesting. Invisible Rune now grants 25 damage reduction, while Invis for its full rune cycle. Other than that, nothing to say here. And we're gonna go to items. Ring of Tarask, it's back. So Ring of Tarask. So you can imagine that Heart of Tarask is combined with the Ring of Tarask. 12 health regen, and Tiara of Selemene just gives 6 mana regen. So in reality, these items are like Ring of Health and Void Stone, just better and just more expensive. Okay. Now we have Kanda. So Kanda is something like Crystallis and Phylactery together. So it's really weird because Phylactery and Crystallis don't really get to match. I would say, hey, maybe on something like Void Spirit it would be cool, but Void Spirit doesn't really get to proc Phylactery because he doesn't have something specific. So I think this item seems really cool. I haven't really thought yet what type of hero would benefit that, something that has a lot of spells and right clicks. Maybe like something like a Nerf Spirit, but again, he does it. It's weird because I don't think he can get to proc Phylactery. And then we have Parasma. So many items. Parasma in reality is like Witchblade and Mystic stuff. In reality, it's just the old, I can't even recall the name, the evolution of Witchblade. 45 intelligence, 40 attack speed, blah, blah, blah. I think that's a nice item if you're playing something like a co-op late game, or if you're playing like something like a Storm. That's pretty nice. Passive Magic Corruption, all your attacks apply 20% magic resistance. So that's really nice, Again, pack, co-op, Storm, this heroes get to naturally buy Witchblade. Javelin, a little bit of buff, I'd say, less gold, less damage. That's nice for a Wind Ranger or something. Quarterstaff removed from the game, and now we have like Ring of Health and Void Stone in reality going to the main shop. So we have like, this is the new Ring of Health and Void Stone, and now these are considered, you can't really get to buy them, these items, on the side shop. Ultimate Orb, 2,800 gold, but gives more stats. So we have some changes fundamentally. For example, Arcane Boots right now combines Boots of Speed, Ring of Basi, and the recipe, so you don't really get to press and give mana, you don't have an active. It's more of a combination of Boost and Ring of Basi. I'm not really gonna go like into a lot of details into the item, just the ones that get to rework. For example, Bloodthorn now combines Orchid, Javelin, Hyperstone, so it's more of an attack speed item. But so Bloodthorn right now, if you play PL, you don't get to have Mage Slayer. Okay, so that's really interesting. Mage Slayer is not combined with Bloodthorn. So if you're playing PL and you want the Mage Slayer, you just have to buy Mage Slayer individually if you need it. For example, if you play versus Lesrock or something. I'm not really going to go into details, but this disperser is really interesting. Recipe change now requires Diffusal Blade and Eagle Song, which makes it the ultimate universal item. Let's say if you play something like a Slark and you have like Diffusal and Echo Saber, you can get to get the Disperser and you can get to get Harpoon. So if you play Void Spirit, getting a Disperser is not unreasonable. It really makes it a really nice universal item all of a sudden. Divine Rapier, 25% spell amplification. Echo Saber, still fine, just Broadsword instead of Quarterstaff that got removed. E-Blade, item reward. Now Etherlens, Ghost Scepter, and Recipe. So Ethereal Blade, not Etherlens, Ethereal Blade is really nice right now, really interesting, because this Etherlens, everybody complained that, it's Etherlens, now what do we get to do with that? And all of a sudden, Etherlens, E-Blade, really nice. Nothing to say here, a lot of Helm of the Overlord also is worth mentioning, because right now it doesn't include Vladimir's Aura, but it's like Helm of the Dominator and Ultimate Orb, so you have a lot of stats. For example, if you play something like a Lycan, it's even better because you get a lot of stats, so universal, so yada yada yada, you get the idea, right? Holy Locket, also, I think it's a really nice item, in the sense that right now you have per charge increased the health, right? So that's really nice. Maelstrom, also really interesting. Now also requires Gloves of Haste. So in the past, we used to build Maelstrom with Mithril Hammer and Gloves of Haste. Now it's a new item. It's also an attack speed item, so we can get to see this Maelstrom potentially on Juggernaut and this Maelstrom on like Draw Ranger, and because attack speed is really important. Mage Slayer, individual item. I think it's still a nice item if you need Mage Slayer. Let's say you play versus Core Pod, or you play versus Primal Beast, or you play versus Lesrac, right? I think this type of heroes, definitely, it's worth to buy these items. Manta, Yasa, and Diadem. If I get, and again, it's a different type of, it's not without an ultimate orb, but again, it's the same thing. Medallion removed from game. Blah blah blah. Mask of Madness still a fine item. They just changed a little bit the items right now because they removed the Quarterstaff. And we go to the first, in my opinion, broken item. Meteor Hammer requires Crown, Kaya, and Recipe. So it just now gives 10% spell amplification, lifesteal spell amplification, and mana regen. I don't know who the hell thought of that. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a crap load of Meteor Hammers because it combines natural items for a mid laner. Let's say you play something like a Cop. Like almost every Cop is going to buy Kaya. And Crown is a good stats item. So why wouldn't you? And you can just buy all of a sudden. You can just siege towers. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I feel like this item, we're going to see a lot of that. Maybe not right away, maybe later on. Mjolnir, MKB, yes, like it's not like interesting. Octarine, like Tiara of Selemene and Soul Booster. The second most broken item is Orb of Corrosion. Orb of Venom, Ring of Protection, Gloves of Haste. So this item is a good farming item all of a sudden. It's not like for lane domination. It's for farming as well. So this one slows. This one actually allows you to be more aggressive in the lane. And Gloves of Haste is a natural item. And it gives 3 armor and 25 attack speed. This is like, in the only game I played so far, almost everybody had that. It was really nice. You play Ursa, you play PA, you play Slark. It's kind of a must. Buy this item. Now we go Pavice. I think it's really nice. Energy Booster, Ring of Protection, Flag Hat. Pavice is a really nice combination of Arcane Boots, but individually, and Mech. It's really nice. Okay. Phylactery, no. Revenant Brooch right now is just, Sacred Relic, Voodoo Mask, and in reality just makes your kit to be magical damage. So that's really nice. These are all fine, and now we're going on Solar Crest. I think Solar Crest is really nice. It's an evolution of Pavice, and it requires Pavice, Crown, Windlace. It's the ultimate support item. Mark my words, every single support is going to have this item. Even cores are going to have this item. Provides 300 mana and 400 HP barrier. And it's just too much. Actually, just too much right now. Okay. Lastly, Veil of Discord now requires Helm of Iron Will. So we might see, I don't know, even like some offlaners like Mars having like Veil of Discord. I think it's really interesting. But then again, the good thing about the new patch is that you get to discover in the beginning. But I'm really confident we're going to see Orb of Corrosion, a lot of that, and we're going to see a lot of Pavice and a lot of Solar Crest. We're going to like neutral items. I'm not really going to go into details like Quickening Charm, Titan Sliver, this, especially like Titan Sliver had to get removed, too strong. Paint Edge Sword was fine, but Spell Pierce had to get removed. Also Timeless Relic has to get removed. And we're going to go like into the hero updates. Okay, I'm going to start like with Abaddon. Absolutely broken. I don't know who the hell thought of that. Base armor increased, and now Tears of Avernus deals 30, 40, 50, 60 for every second that he has a debuff. Like, after you get 4 hits, you're going to apply a debuff, a curse. It's damage to building is reduced by 70%, but it's just too strong right now. Too strong. We're gonna see a crap load of offlaners with that. Maybe like, I think in my previous game, my only game, I saw that in the mid lane. It's just too strong. It's just too strong. Again, Alchemist, whatever, like it's an idea, we'll see. We already saw Gaming Gladiators playing that. Yes, whatever. And we're gonna go on Axe. Base armor increased by 1. Axe had, I think, 2 armor, 2 base armor. That was like, a little bit too low. Right now he's like a little bit more solid. A kind of nerf on Berserker Skull, but Cooling Blade no longer provides attack speed, but gives a lot of armor for Cooling Blade. And when you get armor, that means your Battle Hanger also deals more damage. I think definitely Axe is an offlaner. Bane, also really nice. Heal damage increased by 75 to 90. That's really nice. And of course, Nightmare cast rates increased for 425 to 500. That's a big boost if you want to get like just a couple of levels to Nightmare, or you're playing from behind. The big thing about Nightmare is actually the cast range. So you're gonna catch heroes in the night, and why in the night? Because Bane has a big night vision. Batrider, definitely hero. Movement slow increased on Flamebreaker. Projectile speed increased. Firefly reduced, and of course you can buy Meteor Hammer on Batrider, so you can go in, lasso, Meteor Hammer, you can take towers. That's an idea. We're gonna find out. Base damage increased by 2 on Beastmaster. Agility gained. He's still fine. Bloodseeker, I think, is like kind of a nerf because first of all, I can shard damage lifesteal scale from 1.2 of 1.8 of target max XP to 30 pure, which is a nerf for higher health, but it's a buff for lower health targets. Blacklight damage type change from magical to pure, which I think pure damage is nice to have in the late game. Bounty Hunter, maybe last Bounty Hunter. I think I have like more than 300-400 games on the hero. Level 15 talent replaced by 45 track gold, and level 25 no cooldown on Jinada. I think we're gonna see a lot of Bounty Hunter in the off lane, and do not forget Bounty Hunter is a lane dominator. That said, is really strong. He gets to hammer you, he gets to hunt you down. Don't underestimate Bounty in the lane. He has like 8 armor, 65 damage, maybe like 70, 600-700 HP. It's a really strong laner. I'm not a Brewmaster player, so I don't really know that much about that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Bristleback got nerfed. Center, a lot of like nerfs, especially on Hoofstomp level 1. Chaos Knight, Chaos Strike, lifesteal decreased, still fine. What is this right now? I have no idea. Patches. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna go on Chen. Chen, if you're following this channel, we love Chen. One of my most played hero, I think, after Crystal Maiden is Chen. Chen is strong. If you play Chen, play Chen. If you know how to play Chen, start playing Chen. Attack range on Penitence is now applied to all range units under change control. This too much. This also, because I checked on demo, applies on melee heroes. This applies on melee heroes. Melee heroes have actually range all of a sudden. If you just get a melee creep, I don't know if it's a bug or if you just get an ogre or if you just get like a lane creep, a melee creep, it's going to have all of a sudden 300, 400 attack range. I don't know who thought of that. And Divine Favor right now can get to use individual to give 24 armor. So late game 10 has some usage. Also gives some kind of, extra healing effect by 20%. So, we have something there. Clinks, I don't care about the hero. I think the hero is stupid as fuck. And Clockwork. Strong hero. Strength gain increased by 2.8 to 3.1. In reality, the way I think about it is like this is almost one strength. Every single level, I'm gonna get an extra health in reality. And Aghanims, I'm not gonna get stunned after the duration. That's nice. Crystal Maiden, more mana regen for myself. That's nice. Clone can be destroyed by Crystal Maiden's own AoE spells. So that's nice. That means I can go back right now and I can get to Nova instantly the enemy and break my clone and frostbite him. I just played the game. It was not bad. It's not like the old shard, but it wasn't bad. It had some potential. It's better than the previous crap that it was. So that's something, right? If you're playing a position 4 Crystal Maiden, the level 15 talent, that Crystal Nova cooldown reduction increased by 3 to 4. That's also really nice, right? It has some potential. I played that. I was satisfied. Some darks here, mana cost increase, some buffs there. And Willow, I really don't know a lot about the hero, but I really like when this hero is getting nerfed. It annoys me to play against it all the time. And now we're gonna go on Dawnbreaker. Fire Trail duration increased from 2.5 to 4 seconds. That means you can officially get to clear waves, even as support, from level 7 and onwards. Forever. It's just too much for one spell to clear a whole wave from level 7, right? So that's really nice. Dazzle, potion attacks now allows affected heroes to be denied if fall below 25% health. They just hammered the hero all of a sudden. Sorry about my cough. Silence now slows enemies. That's a nice addition. Disruptor, don't play the hero, still not strong. Devour, neutral abilities now level up automatically at the time, so that's really nice, to have, like, for example, some kind of ability in the natural scales. And Doom no longer makes a hero deniable. That's huge. Dragonite, Breath Fire now applies the corresponding corrosive breath and frost debuff from his current level of Elder Dragon form. I like this, is a really nice addition. Draw Ranger. Draw Ranger is the type of hero that it will go with meta, depends, right? But I don't think she's that strong right now. No. And Ember Spirit, unit count increased from 2 to 3. That's really nice. Bonus hero damage increase from 100 to 50, because we always, to 165. That's okay. And radius increased on Flame Guard. The question is Ember got nerfed giga nerfed throughout the patches, and I'm not really sure if that's enough, Enchantress now deals 20, 30, 40, 50 damage per second when cast on enemy. That's a nice addition. No longer provides armor to the enchanted creep. Nobody cared about that. So Enchantress 10 are definitely there. Demonic Summoning, if you're an Enigma player, I don't really like the hero, but Eidolon's health is increased by 4% of Enigma's current health. I can't speak English. Eidolons now preserve their commanded target when they split. And some damage, but that's fine. Void, Strength Gate increased, that's fine. Whatever. But in reality, Void, in my opinion, was S tier before, at least in the higher brackets. I think he's still a great hero. Grimstroke, Inkswell, Aghanim Shard, damage heal bonus decreased from 40 to 30%. I think, honestly, the Shard on Grimstroke is the most, is the strongest Shard in the game. Definitely, it's worth buying it still now. Yeah, they got nerfed it, but it's still absolutely busted. This doesn't matter, honestly. Gyrocopter cooldown ability rework now always shoots 3 missile strikes in the vector target direction, but with a single missile per strike. So instead of having one big circle and then another one on the same spot, you have like 3 circles, smaller one, but in the direction that you want. I think that's a nice buff, to be honest, right? It's definitely a nice buff. Hoodwink, a little bit of more damage in Q and W. Invoker, a little bit of base damage decrease. Whatever. Tether on Wisp, that's interesting. Now deals some damage per second to enemies caught in the tether. So that's a nice buff, you know, if you're like a Wisp player. I'm not myself, but you know. Dual Breath, start radius decreased from 225 to 150, end radius is unchanged. I think the hero was a strong hero. Movement slow decreased and attack slow decreased. I think the hero was just too strong. Still playable, still strong though. Juggernaut, okay. The spin. Damage stick rate to scale from permanent 0.2 to Juggernaut's attack rate at current attack speed multiplied by 2. So in reality, you just spin and it deals as much damage, depends on the attack speed. So you're going to do 50 damage per tick instead of like a flat. So the more attack speed you have, the more damage you're going to deal. I tried it with 6 Moon Shards, and within a spin, I did like 1400 damage. Now, I'm thinking, you know, maybe I can just get to go threads miles from a Mjolnir with Juggernaut and play around the spin, right? Because Aghanim's Shard reward now increases blade flare radius by 100 and slows enemies' movement speed by 35. So you don't get to right-click while you spin. In reality, spin just scales with your attack speed, not your damage, your attack speed. Keeper of the Light, Will-O-Wisp, Ignis, you know, the ultimate, the Aghanim's. Gets to deal 75 damage per flicker. In reality, this does not allow you to blink out. Recall now also casts Chakra Magic on both Keeper on the Light and Ally upon teleporting. And then we have some talent buffs. I think Kotal is nice if you're like a Kotal player, just like myself. But if you're not, my piece of advice would be just to stay away from that. Kunkka, his broken Aghanims, mana cost increased, and minimum spawn distance decreased. So that's like nice, but I feel like they have to change the level 15 talent. The torrent gets to perma-stun you. Okay. Legion Commander, there's not much to say here. Leshrac though, finally might be stronger right now as a Diabolic Edict deals more damage, so you can just take more towers early on. And now Lightning Storm also gets to slow your attack speed. That's really nice for the mid lane, but also that's really nice for the mid game as well. Definitely, we have something going on here with Leshrac. Leech, mana drain per second increased, movement speed decreased on Spine. I think Leech is still fine. And now that we know that Solar Crest, even like with Pavise, a natural Leech item, a defensive item, is back in the meta, right? A combination of Pavise and Solar Crest. I think it's, you know, what's better than, you know, Pavise on Leech, right? So definitely it's there. Life Stealer, blah, blah, blah. Nothing here, a little bit of nerf. Let's go backwards, though. And we're gonna go on Lina. Where's Lina? Lina. Level 20 talent, 5 extra Laguna Blade supercharged stacks. That means that if you Laguna, you just get 15 attacks, like 15 stacks. 15 stacks are just too much, you know? And then you get level 25 that says Laguna Blade, blah, 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 is replaced by 150 critical on targets affected by Dragon Slave. I tried that on lobby. If you just Laguna someone, you just go and you just Dragon Slave. So you just critical all the time. It has some potential. I'm not really sure if that's better than Magical Lina, but definitely has like some potential. Lion. Now, on Reddit, everyone online was just complaining. Now that's true. Now damages enemies for 100% of the mana drained. Well, that's nice. Lion was kind of garbage, you know, in the lane. So that's nice. And they replaced mana drain deals damage, replaced with 100% mana drain damage. So, yeah, that's nice. Lion with... but you have to think like the shard on Lion is super strong if you're playing from behind. If you're playing from ahead, you're more into Blink Hex. So, yeah, the shard is nice for playing from behind and can make high ground almost impossible. But it wasn't as strong. It's just because something is annoying doesn't mean it's strong. Okay. Lone Druid, literally, I hate this hero. So he got nerfed here, nerfed on bear, blah blah blah. Hope I'll never see this hero again. Skewer deals like damage when you just, travel some hero, that's fine. If you're a Magnus player, I myself is not, so, be my guest, you can just play that hero. I think it's a nice position 3. I think I just saw Pure playing that on the major right now. No. Mars, backswing decreased on Spear of Mars, that's nice. Some extra critical, so we might see Desolator on Mars once again. Not much to say here. Medusa, not much to say here. Meepo got kind of nerfed, damage type changed from pure to magical. That's a big actually nerf on Meepo. Mirana, whatever. But the leap, right? Again, Shard now guarantees a secondary Starstorm strike on all enemies affected by the slow if Starstorm is cast. So that's like a nice addition. Monkey King, I don't know if he's like back on meta, but no, the thing about this could be like back on meta because Orb of Corrosion is a great item right now. And yeah, like you can't really go wrong with Orb of Corrosion because even if you don't get kills in the lane, you can always like benefit from the Gloves of Haste. So that's really nice. Muerta, still strong. Naga in the higher ranks, still strong. Nature's Prophet, some stats nerfed. Necrophos, some mana cost increase on Death Pulse, which means that in the off lane, you might struggle a little bit with the Necrophos, which in my opinion, which was always a garbage hero in the position 3. But in position 2, he's still a great hero. I like Necrophos, you will like dominate lanes. NS, base mana regen increase, that's nice, but then we have like some nerfs in my opinion. Aghanim Shard, max health restored decreased. This Shard on NS, they just keep getting nerfed, so I don't really know why. Omni Knight, that's like really interesting. They made Guardian Angel, his ultimate, a single target spell. So that's like nice, a single target spell with 2 charges. So instead of like an AoE, you can get to single use it. So I think it has potential, but I think Abaddon might be stronger right now. I always thought like Omni Knight is literally just a worse Abaddon, right? But we're gonna see. No. Pango is interesting right now. Shieldcrest damage type changed from magical to physical, and the cooldown in his ultimate decreased with 3 seconds. So that used to be a talent, and instead of the talent, it's plus 80 Shieldcrest barrier per hero, or you're going for, and 20, you have, instead of plus 100 Shieldcrest barrier per hero, you have 125 Shieldcrest radius. So that's like interesting in my opinion, right? I think the fact that Shieldcrest is physical, it's going to mess up with support, so you can naturally just buy something like Glimmer Cape. Okay, some base health regen. I think if you're like a Pango player, I think this hero got buffed a lot. Just the fact that you just get to have like, you might even like max Shieldcrest all of a sudden, it wouldn't be unreasonable. Maybe like not, maybe not. It doesn't really make sense because you have a flat. Cooldown is always increased by. Okay, you have like a flat. Okay, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Phantom Assassin, longer provides lifesteal, duration increase. That lifesteal was nice. Fan of Knives, damage type changed from pure to physical. That's a big nerf because you get to buy Fan of Knives against high armor heroes like TB. And that was like a 16% out of his health. Now it's like 25, but physical. And if you're like a high armor hero like TB, you just don't really care about that. PL, some nerfs, blah, blah, blah. Aghanim still broken, play PL. Not interested. I think it's still strong. Primal Beast, they nerfed the Shard. Please nerf the ultimate. Pack, kind of like buffs here. Kind of like, we'll see. And then we're going to go on Pudge. Talent armor increase from 5 armor. Guys, if you're playing Pudge 3, that hero is strong. Plus 5 armor on level 10? Come on, that's just a little bit too much, That's just a little bit too much. No, like, it's like an interesting in Pagna. Queen of Pain got nerfed though, and I'm not really sure why. Shadow Strike. Aghanim Scepter radius decreased. Scream of Pain. Mana cost rescaled from going to 100 to 120. This hero has already big mana issues in the laning stage, so that's like kind of bad. And then we have like some talents that I think they're kind of BS, but we're gonna figure out. I think like Cop is particularly good, even though I thought if Cop were to get buffed, we would see a lot of Meteor Hammer Cop. Razor, strong hero. Link duration increased from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 10 seconds, but he steals less damage. In the end, you get still like 200. It's really interesting. An interesting Rubik, always like a fine hero. Something got nerfed for some reason. I'm uninterested in Shadow Demon, right? Sure, like the illusion damage decrease is a little bit annoying, you know, because from 75 to 50%. But they have like base bonus damage. It's like a nerf in the late game. Shadow Fiend, 5 damage less, but 5 agility more, which in reality it's 5 damage more and just 5 attack speed more. Shadow Summon, strong, 1 armor extra, and you get to have 10% more damage amplification. That's really interesting. Come on. Right, we're gonna go on Silencer, which I think maybe like Silencer on core is like a little bit interesting. Now deals magic damage that doesn't pierce debuff immunity. This makes its damage effect debuff immune enemies, but it will be reduced by their magic resistance. I think like Silencer, just this right click Silencer just never gonna work out unless they just buff him a little bit more. Slardar, some nerfs. Slark, I think Slark is a god tier right now. I think it's too good with the Orb of Corrosion. Spec, like this, like Snapfire, so it's a fine hero still. Spec, some bullshit nerfs. Yeah, reality now only triggers 1 cast of Spectral Dagger per illusion. Yeah, but I think the problem is like his ultimate is still like 60 seconds. I think it's good, honestly. No. Storm, Remnant activation time decreased from 1 second to 0.25. It's really nice in the lane. It's really nice in the lane stage because it's, you know, the difference between like 1 second and 0.25, 0.75 is the detonation, the activation. So that's really nice. Some buff on Sven, like this is like really small buffs that, you know, it's not even like worth discussing, you know. Timberson, the next hero that I think it got buffed in my opinion. Base damage increased, strength gained increased, reactive armor increased. So we have like some good Timberson, which I'm not really sure if Timberson is, I think hero is really strong. I just don't think with all these Slark Ursas, Minded things, due to the Orb of Corrosion that's going to be in the meta, if Timberson is going to be able to handle these heroes, you know, because he really has a hard time with Slark, and Ursa and the Monkey King. Again, Tinker got nerfed, literally just fuck that hero. And then we're going on Tiny, which is like really interesting. Bonus base damage increased on tree grab. Oh, come on, man. Come on, this is like too annoying. Again. Tiny. Cooldown decreased. That's nice. And Aghanim insert now increased damage of thrown tree by 100. And look at this. At grow, toss bonus damage increased even more. So definitely Tiny's back. Now, is she going to be a mid laner? Most likely. But if we were to see post 1 and post 3, I wouldn't be surprised. Now we're going to go on my beloved Trent. Got nerfed. Aghanim insert movement speed decreased. More, less heal, more mana. That's annoying. Troll, I think he's strong. Finally, they probably fixed the bug that now allows Troll to receive movement orders if there are like no valid targets within range. Tuskar, interesting hero, now also deals 50 bonus damage, which affect like crit multiplier. And I think that Tuskar can be a good mid lane right now because, in my opinion, there are not like many mid laners that got buffed, you know, like at least in my opinion, but we're gonna find out. Underlord, Pit of Miles now deals damage, so you can't really blink out of the pit like we used to do in the past. Nothing. Ursa, I think it's S tier. Overpower, slow resistance increased. Fury Swipes, damage per attack increased, so makes his laning stage way better, right? And again, Orb of Corrosion on Ursa. Venge, Nether Swap, damage increased from 50 to 150. No longer though reduces damage taken, which is annoying. Now gives Vengeful Spirit and allied targets now gain a damage barrier for 10 seconds, okay? And the health barrier is equal to the spell's damage value. It's a little bit like creative. I think Venge was a good hero. It's still a good hero, okay? And of course, like some talents here, but I think Venge is a fine hero. Venomancer, some plague ward damage here, rescaled. I think you pick Venom for his strong lane, the Gale, and the ultimate. Viper. Now Viper is kind of interesting. Nether Toxin, the W now doesn't break, okay? Now slows attack speed by 30, 40, 50, 60, but the ultimate breaks. So they kind of make his laning stage stronger in a sense that you don't really, if you want to break early on a Spec or a Timber, so you don't have to take the value point on Nether Toxin. You just get Viper Strike, okay? Which, it's a buff in the early game, but it's a nerf when going high ground, you know? Void Spirit, still a fine hero. Warlock, a little bit of nerf, still a fine hero. Wind Ranger, some like changes like Bar Shot now slows. It's nice. Winter Curse on Wyvern, kind of like buffs. That's okay. Witch Doctor, that's interesting because no longer deals damage. So they give him more heal, but no longer deals damage. So no more Wisp Witch Doctor. That's like interesting. Wraithkin got nerfed, and Juice now deals 2 damage, you know, per bolt. On the creeps, you know, twice the damage. I can speak English, so that means on level 25, you're going to get the lightning bolt AoE, so you're gonna like one-shot waves. As a result, I think what you need to play, in my opinion, is anything in the, at least in the support role, right? You need to pick pretty much anything that can buy Solar Crest, which is like a combination of Pavice, Solar Crest, drums. I think like this is a good combination of items, and be bulky. When it comes to offlaners, we're gonna see a lot of Tiny, a lot of Abaddon, that's like giga strong. And in the mid lane, we're going to see a lot of Batrider, in my opinion. When it comes to position 1, anything that buys literally Orb of Corrosion. So a lot of Ursas, a lot of Mankins, a lot of Slarks. I think like this hero is fairly strong. I think it's a really fresh, finally we get to see like more heroes, just because the items change. We get to see more, you know, it's like a fresh look, okay? I'm really forward to hear your thoughts as well. You know, if you already played games, please let me know down in comments, you know, how much you played. I only played 1 game, so my pool, you know, my sample is not big, and of course I played Crystal Maiden. But I'm really excited because finally we can get to see, you know, if there are broken items that are not hero specific, then we can get to see more heroes. All of a sudden I played a Maiden and felt like smooth, you know, it's not that crap all of a sudden. You can play Lich, you can play Disruptor even like with Pavice and Solar Crest. That's not bad all of a sudden, you know, even though I think Disruptor is not that great, but you kind of get the idea. So please share your thoughts also, you know, if you played, if you didn't play. I'm really looking forward. I read all the comments, so I'm actually looking forward to hear your thoughts. And yeah, hopefully you like the video. Hopefully we're gonna find out together. I'm gonna make more videos hopefully in the future, but we're gonna find together if, you know, what's like the strong things and what are not the strong things. GG Raza, and I'll see you on the next video.